door. Rumor has it that I get a little loud.
Jacob, what did I do?
I'll try to simmer it down.
I started.
Okay, guys, put your iPads away.
I can't. I'm supposed to be recording. I can't.
I'm just talking to them, okay? Okay, so land, water, oil, resources. Power, what else? Religion, what else? Anything else?
Money?
Money, good, what else? Okay, today we're gonna talk about this. Okay, we're gonna talk about this region, the Middle East. Y'all have been talking about the Middle East, right? Okay, yes, I did just say y'all. Okay, now, in this region, have you talked about the Fertile Crescent?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, this right here is the Fertile Crescent, right? Actually, no, it's not like that. It's like doink, doink. Okay, Fertile Crescent, right? Why is it a crescent? Why is it called the Fertile Crescent?
It's in the shape of a crescent.
Okay, my 3-year-old loves crescent moons, okay? He'll go outside and he'll be like, Crescent! Crescent! There it is! Okay? Time out.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
He is. Okay, we'll send him at the end of this class.
It's gonna be me.
Kevin Walsh, you have a lunch for yourself downstairs. And I'm gonna beat you down there and I'm gonna eat it. Okay, so this is the Fertile Crescent because it's the size of it, or it's the shape of a crescent. And why is it called the Fertile Crescent?
Are those fertile?
Lexi.
Because it was once abundant with like growth, but now it is not, and it's all deserty.
Okay, it was once abundant with growth, vegetation. It was fertile, right?
Yes.
They say that a lot of the, actually, more goes like that, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Artist.
Okay, they say that a lot of the ancient civilizations started in this region because of the fertile land, right? Because of the rivers. The main rivers in this region, we know the Nile is in Africa, right? What are the two main rivers up in the Middle East? Cade?
Tigris and Euphrates.
The Tigris and Euphrates rivers, okay? We're going to talk a lot about the Tigris and Euphrates rivers today. Okay. Now, in 1972, this is what this region looked like, okay? If we go back to the other map, I better erase my crescent. My Jack would be excited about that. Okay? We are going to be talking specifically right now about this region, then in a little bit we're going to talk about this region. Okay? So right now we're talking about the area around the Persian Gulf where Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia all conjoin. Okay? Fair enough? Oh, look at her. Had to shut the door because I heard I got loud last hour. Okay? Alright, so this is the region, okay? Here we have the Tigris River and the Euphrates rivers. Okay? Now, you're wondering what the picture, why are the colors, right? Okay, but this is actually a satellite image of this region, okay? Taken from space. The vegetation looks red and the desert looks bright. Clear, deep water looks almost black, and shallow, silty water looks lighter blue. So, in 1972, 40 years ago, this is what the region looked like. All right? Now we're going to go ahead in history a little bit. 1997. This is what the same region looked like. Colors mean the same thing. So, what changed from 72 to 97? A mere, how many years? 25 years. Okay? Not that long. To you guys it seems like an eternity, but in all actuality it's not much time. Chandler, what happened?
Oh, a lot of the red turned gray.
A lot of the red turned gray. What does that mean based on what I told you about the colors, Chandler?
It turned to water.
Again, it what?
It turned to desert.
It turned to desert, okay? So the water, the fertile area that Lexi talked about earlier, is here we have the Euphrates and the Tigris, or the Tigris and Euphrates, I mean, okay? This fertile area is no longer fertile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Why? What happened? Just dried up?
Global warming.
Hmm?
Global warming.
No. Good try. No. Chandler?
People like cut all the trees down and stuff.
No? That's That's a good try. Here's what happened. In the late 70s, early to mid 80s, into the 90s, the Iraqi government built what they called a third river. Okay, they called this area, or they called this river the third river. And there's two different kinds of water in the world. What are the two different kinds of water in the world? Lexi?
Saltwater and freshwater.
Saltwater and freshwater. Rainwater that comes down from the sky, does that have salt in it?
No.
No, okay? But water through the rivers, water in the ocean, does that have salt in it?
Yes.
Yes, that has, that usually, right?
Well,
Unless, they're freshwater, they're fresh. Right, there's some freshwater, like lakes and whatnot, but typically it has salt in it, okay? Now, the Iraqi government created this third river. The area we know outside of the Tigris and Euphrates is pretty dry, right? That's why it's this grayish, greenish, yellowish color, right? Okay? And so in order to have crops and to grow anything, they irrigated, okay? They took water, and we don't irrigate very often here, but in other parts of the country they irrigate a lot, right? They take water from where it's really fertile and really a lot of water, and they take it out to areas that are drier. Okay, now, the problem, so then what they did was, when they took it was rainwater, or it was river water, right? So they took the river water out, but then there'd be like salt that would be left in the area, and so they created this third river, and that carried the salt water, down into the Persian Gulf, because they wanted that around, because salt, would that be good or bad for your crops? It'd be bad for your crops, right? So they took that out. The Iraqi government, okay, the people in the country of Iraq, said that that was in order to keep the salty water from the marshes, but people that didn't agree with them, because there's always a critic, right? The critics said that it was to keep any water from the marshes, okay? They didn't want the vegetation to do well there, and they didn't want it to thrive, okay? So before this third river was built in 92, so before that was built in 92, there was a lot of vegetation, a lot of life, and the rivers would kind of percolate. They'd go around into, that region. Whereas after 1992, after this third river was built, they didn't have that any longer. Okay? Y'all with me so far?
Yep.
Okay? You guys all right? Did I say something? Okay. Something's obviously more funny than what we're talking about. Okay? All right. Moving right along. Yes?
how come it doesn't look like a crescent?
It's the whole region though, remember? The region goes, that's zoomed in. This is Egypt over here, okay? So that's part of the crescent, but there's a lot more to the crescent. Hey, that's a good crescent, isn't it, guys? A+ in art for me. Okay. I'm doing this in a little different order than I did the last one, so I want to make sure I cover everything. So they're conflicting. Iraq and the surrounding countries, especially Iran, are conflicting over water at this point, right? Okay? The people want water, they need water, and they don't have water. Okay? Or they don't have as much. Okay? Now, we are going to fast forward to 1990, all right? Or rewind, okay? 1990, none of you were alive, okay? I was in 3rd grade. This is one of these moments in history that I'll never forget, okay? I think everybody has moments like that. And 1990, 1991 is one of those for me because that's when the Persian Gulf War happened. Has anybody heard of the Persian Gulf War? Any of your parents served in the Persian Gulf War?
We have
Yes.
some kids in other classes that have.
Okay.
Dad.
Okay, super. All right, well, this is when the Persian Gulf War happened. This is the city of Kuwait City. Okay, this is Kuwait City. And this shows the capital city, Kuwait, in the upper part of the image. In the February 91 image, the Kuwait coastline to the south of the city is just joking. Sorry, I got too far ahead of myself. Okay, this is the image in February of 91, and then this is the image of November of 91. okay? Within 10 months,